And joining us now, the Republican presidential candidate, Fred Thompson, a former Republican senator from Tennessee. Senator, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Wolf.
Mitt Romney is going to be delivering what his campaign says will be a big speech on faith this week, talking about his Mormon faith. USA Today had this paragraph today talking about you and your faith, and I'll read to you what they say. His campaign has gained little traction since he entered the race, in part because he lacks a religious niche. Thompson has said he rarely attends church, doesn't want to talk about faith in his campaign, and opposes a federal amendment against same-sex marriage. Predictably, Christian conservatives have not been amused or enthused. You want to react to that little paragraph?
In the first place, I've just received the endorsement of the National Right to Life folks. And, of course, there's quite a bit of overlap there among those people. They know my record better than anybody else.
On the issue of abortion?
On the issue of abortion. With regard to the little traction, I've been running consistently second in the nationwide polls. I've been running pretty consistently first in South Carolina. So our campaign is where we need to be. I think a lot of people expected me to blow everybody away when I got into the race. I knew better than that. And of course, that hasn't happened.
We're going to talk about the horse race.
Well,
shortly.
But it was all premised on that, and so I need to address that. As far as faith is concerned, I've not made any secret as to where I am. I'm a Christian. I have been since I was a teenager. I attend church with my mother when I'm in Tennessee. I don't attend here on a regular basis since I've been living in McLean, Virginia, and that's the long and the short of it. I have no apologies to make about my religion or my relationship to Jesus Christ or God. Those who know me, I'm okay with, and I'm okay with the Lord, and the Lord's okay with me as far as I can tell. So that's all that's important to me, and the rest we'll have to work around that.
Is it a good idea for Romney to deliver a speech this week about his Mormon faith?
I have no idea. I have no idea about that. He's going to have to do what all of us have to do, and that is address it for himself. It's not for me to pass judgment on him or his religion.
There was an editorial in the Wall Street Journal today entitled "Immigration Phonies," and it criticized not only you, but some of the other Republican presidential candidates, but specifically you. It said this: as a senator from Tennessee, Mr. Thompson voted for making more visas available for foreign agricultural workers. He also favored expanding the H-1B visa program for high-skilled immigrants to meet labor market demand. Regarding the illegal aliens already here, Mr. Thompson in the past has leaned toward a comprehensive approach. Have you flip-flopped on the issue of comprehensive immigration reform?
No. First of all, they're talking about two different things. I have never opposed legal immigration. I've always said our legal immigration plan or program needs to be improved. Then they ease over into illegal immigration and say that I tend to do something. They're just wrong.
No, it said when you were in the Senate, you supported a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants.
That's just factually incorrect. I have never, if people want to go back to their country and get in line the way so many thousands of others have done, around embassies around the world, and in order to come here and be good citizens the way so many have, then I'm fine with that. I think that's a wonderful thing. We're all products of that in one way or another. But I have never supported anything like amnesty or grandfathering anybody in front of these other people or anything like that.
Because on this issue, you disagree then with John McCain, who's been a champion in the Senate on the issue of comprehensive immigration reform.
Well, it depends on what you mean by comprehensive immigration reform. The bill that Senator McCain supported and President Bush put forth, I'm dead set against. I mean, I think it's an amnesty bill, and I've always been against that.
And when you were in the Senate, did you disagree at that time as well?
No, I did not. I don't know what they're referring to. I had several votes there, and I wanted to strengthen our legal immigration system. I think that we need to make it easier on everybody who plays by the rules to get in. We've got a tremendous backlog right now of people trying to get in and play by the rules.
Is there too much pandering going on this issue, based on your experience?
Why should this issue be any different from any other issue?
So there's a lot of pandering going on. That's the nature of politics. Is that what you're saying?
Some of us have been in the same place all of our political career on this issue and others. And that's one of the strengths that I think that I have. I got into politics in 1994, first time I'd ever run for office. And I took positions on most of the current issues that we're talking about today. And I've been consistent, same kind of common sense conservative approach to all these things. Most of the other guys have had to alter their positions when they decided to run for president. I have not. This is a part of that.
And you made that point in that ad, that the video ad that we saw in the CNN YouTube debate, in which instead of talking about the good things you've done, you really decided to go negative and go after Huckabee and Romney specifically. What was your thinking on that, line?
It's shocking someone from the news media would call those negative ads.
Well, they were critical. They were critical.
They were their own voice. I put up them speaking their words. You know, only in the day and age we live in would that considered to be a negative ad, because they're having to answer for things that they've said in times past. So many of these folks have just been one way their entire career until they decided to run for president.
All right, spell out specifics. What's your biggest problem with Romney?
It's hard to know where to start. It's a target-rich environment as far as the issues are concerned. Mitt's taken a different position on things like whether or not we ought to follow the Reagan path. He said in times past that he was not a Reaganite. In fact, he was an independent back during the Reagan Revolution. He supported the immigration bill that we were just talking about earlier in his career when it first came out. Said people who were separating themselves from Bush were making a terrible mistake. On just about all of the major issues, you know, he's taken a different position now than what he was. He was very consistent and vociferously for abortion rights up until he decided to run. He said that Roe versus Wade was something that we should go along with and live with.
So you got a problem.
Now he's against Roe versus Wade. So you know, it depends on the issue.